Welcome back to Chicana Kitchen. Today I'm going to show you how to take these few simple ingredients and turn them into Spanish tortilla, or as they call it in Spain, tortilla. It's traditionally a bar snack in Spain. It makes for a good light dinner or an excellent breakfast. Let's get cooking. Alright, so we're going to start with a couple of russet potatoes. You can use any kind of potato you'd like, about 1.5 pounds worth of potato, and we're going to cut these lengthwise in half and in half again. All right, so quartered lengthwise, and then slice them into thin slices about 1/8 of an inch or so. We've got our potato chopped, and now we're going to take our onion. You can use one small onion, or I've got a larger onion here, so I'm going to use about 1/2 to 2/3 of this onion. Okay, we're going to half it, as you can see, and then half again, in other words, quarter our onion, and cut that into thin slices. So we wound up using about 2/3 of that onion. It's in the bowl with our potatoes, and now what we're going to do is add olive oil, somewhere around 3 tablespoons. We're going to add some, stir a bit. And then we're going to add seasonings before we add more olive oil. So we'll put in there about 1/2 teaspoon. Well, let's get the half. 1/2 teaspoon of kosher salt. 1/2 teaspoon of paprika. And I've got here about 1/2 teaspoon of freshly ground black pepper. And we're going to stir a little bit more to distribute those spices. We'll add some more olive oil, and we'll work that over until it's all of the slices of potato and onion are evenly incorporated. All right, so we have our potatoes and onions evenly coated in olive oil and spices. We're going to turn our pan. We've got a nonstick skillet. High sides are nice, not necessary, but it's nice if you have one that has high sides. I'm going to turn that up to medium high and put just a teeny bit of oil in there, maybe about a teaspoon or so. And we're going to let that get hot. We'll know that it's hot enough when it's shimmering. And at that point, we're going to add our potato mixture in there. Our pan is hot. Our oil is shimmering, as they say. And we're going to go ahead and take these potatoes and onions and pour them right in. And give that a quick stir. We turned our heat down to medium-low, and these are going to cook for about 25 minutes. We'll lift the lid, give them a stir about every 5 minutes or so. But until then, they really are just going to be happy cooking away. We don't even need to rinse our our bowl, because we're going to crack the eggs right into it. So we're going to crack our eggs into the same bowl that we used for the potatoes and the onion. I'm using 6 eggs here. You can, depending on your pan and your potatoes and just how eggy you want this to be, you can go up to 8 eggs if you want, but 6 usually does it for us. I'm going to grab my trusty whisk and mix my eggs up here. And let's check our potatoes. They should be nice and soft at this point. Oh yeah, they look good. You'll know that they're done enough if you can take your spatula and just kind of gently press down and break a potato slice in half. All right, so these potatoes are done well, they're not overdone. And so we're going to turn the heat off for a moment. And we're actually going to stir the potatoes into the egg. We're going to do this gently but quickly so that the egg doesn't start cooking too much in the bowl, and then we're going to return everything to the pan. So we'll add our potatoes in. And we've left a little bit of oil in the pan. That's just fine because this is all going to go right back in. We're just going to fold it a little bit. Gently stir. And then it's all going to go right back in the pan. So let me turn my heat back on to medium. Into the pan we go. And we're just going to even out this mixture a little bit. But before we put the lid on to keep cooking, this would be the time to add any optional extras. You can add that right in the bowl, but in this case, I'm going to take some cooked sausage and just sprinkle it into a little bit of this. My husband eats meat, I don't. So I'll do a little meaty wedge of tortilla. And I'm just going to gently fold that in as well. All right, and we'll kind of even out the top a little bit. Center that on the burner. And we're going to cover this and cook it on medium or medium low, and we're just going to keep checking back until our egg is cooked well. Let's give our tortilla a check. We want to make sure nothing's sticking to the side, so gently take our spatula and help that egg release. I can see that there's a lot of uncooked egg at the top here. So I'm going to let this cook a little bit longer because the next step will be flipping it out onto a plate or a cutting board, and if the egg on top is too runny, that's not going to be good. So I'm going to go ahead and turn my heat down. It was already on medium low. I'm going to turn it just a teeny bit lower and let that cook for a couple more minutes until the egg on the top is set enough to flip. Let's check on our tortilla again. It's been a couple of minutes. And now it looks good. This top is still a little bit soft in places, but it's set enough to flip. So I'm going to call in a pair of steady hands and have my husband flip this out onto a cutting board because we're going to slide it back into the pan upside down, so we just get this, what's now the top, nice and cooked. So here it is flipped upside down. Thank you very much, hubby. And we're going to slide this right back into our pan, like so. Turn that back on and just let it cook for a couple of minutes to get the egg on that now underside nice and set. Here's our finished Spanish tortilla. It's nice and browned and ready to slice into. Nice slice here. We're going to put that on a plate and get that ready to serve. Thank you for stopping by the Chicana Kitchen. Here's our finished Spanish tortilla. I've plated mine with some salsa verde and a quick Mexican style pickle. You can enjoy yours however you like, breakfast, lunch, or dinner, and I hope you stop back soon to the Chicana Kitchen.